impacts of the recent government shutdown. The impacts of the shutdown resonated throughout the industry as aviation safety inspectors and many others sat idly on the sidelines for weeks. Frustration grew, morale dropped, while modernization was brought to a standstill. In addition, the FAA's ability to recruit and retain highly skilled workers may have been severely damaged. PASS represents approximately 11,000 FAA employees nationwide, including Puerto Rico, Guam, and American Samoa. They install, maintain, support, and certify complex air traffic control equipment. They inspect and oversee the commercial and general aviation industries. They develop flight procedures and perform quality analysis of aviation systems used in air traffic control. They aid in the building and restoring of air traffic control facilities as well. These employees are the voice of aviation safety. They provide a unique insight into the system that maintain and the industry they oversee. Our members are tasked in ensuring that the U.S. aviation system remains the safest in the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yet, for 35 days, many of them were not performing their duties. Those who were on the job were working under stressful conditions without pay, while some worked over 10-hour shifts. Dedicated federal employees, many of them lifelong public servants and military veterans, became collateral damage in a dispute unrelated to aviation safety. Employees within the FAA's Office of Aviation Safety represent the backbone of the system. They develop regulatory standards and ensure your aircraft and those responsible for keeping it in the sky are up to the task and in full regulatory compliance. But when the shutdown began, thousands of aviation safety inspectors were furloughed and told not to report to work. They wanted to, but they couldn't. For 35 days, the FAA's safety oversight was severely curtailed. With each passing day, a layer of safety was stripped away as the system became more exposed to risk. For example, the FAA was not overseeing foreign repair stations for 35 days, and the world knew it. This is not an acceptable standard. The aviation industry depends on vital certification work that PASS represented employees perform. But during the shutdown, important certification activities were on hold. The FAA and the aviation industry will likely feel the effects of this shutdown for years to come. Thousands of other FAA employees, primarily in the Air Traffic Organization, or ATO, remained on the job without pay. This includes airway transportation system specialists as well as other safety professionals. Modernization of the system was brought to a halt. Implementation of next-gen programs, procedures, and equipment were not being deployed, and training was halted. This will inevitably lead to delays in the implementation of new technologies and procedures. Again, the long-term impacts of the shutdown will resonate throughout the industry. As stated before, the agency's ability to attract and retain highly skilled employees after the shutdown may have been damaged. Employees trained and certified by the government will look to the private sector for job security. Inspectors are fleeing to the private sector, and years of experience will be lost. The call to public service may be lost as well. The human impact must be considered. The timing of the shutdown, before and after the holidays, could not have been worse. FAA employees needed to be focused on critical duties, not on whether they can pay their bills or if they need a second job to put food on the table. During the shutdown, I heard from one of my members in Gonzales, Louisiana, who was an administrative side of the house and was furloughed during the shutdown. She's a single mother of 3 and putting 2 children through college. She's also a veteran who dutifully served her country. Yet, for 35 days, her main concern was the shutdown and when she would be able to pay her bills. She told me of the psychological effects and the stress it put on her and her family. She deserves better than this. All federal employees deserve better than this. In closing, PASS emphasizes that every day the government is shut down, our country is gambling with aviation safety. We can't subject the flying public to unnecessary risk due to political disagreements. Aviation safety is like a team sport. Without support staff, facilities would not operate at an optimum level. Without technicians, air traffic controllers would not be able to perform their job. And without inspectors, the aviation system becomes less safe and efficient. The full team needs to be on the job, free of unnecessary burdens unrelated to the mission. Thank you very much for the opportunity to testify on this important issue, and I look forward to answering any questions.